Downtown LA, LA Live, Televerse, and the panel for PARADISE.
And Sterling came from who's apologies about
Is she trying to actually pass away?
Yeah.
I was like, Lloyd is having a baby right now, and I don't think she's pregnant in real life, but I think she's pregnant. And in the moment, like I can remember, like your breath was halting, and I could feel like a convulsion, and I was like, girl, you better not make me cry. I'm trying to act right. And then she went away, and I was like, oh, shit.
What makes me cry when you say this, when I watched the episode, obviously, as an actor, you're so often enveloped in your own experience. When I watched it and I saw your freaking reaction to what was happening to Annie, like that's what gets me. I'm such a fan of this show. I'm not separate from Annie, but you're just it is alchemy. And sometimes you get lucky to have sort of a feral environment that lets you be an animal. And I feel like episode 4 let us just be animals. I remember being given advice when I was 18 years old from George Clooney when we did a film together. He was like, whoever's number 1 on the call sheet.
That was a nice name.
I know.
George Clooney.
Wait, I'm about to compliment you, hold on. Whoever's number 1 on the call sheet and whoever the director is, if those two people show up to set every day in a good mood, in a positive way, and they're kind to everyone, it changes the entire environment of not only the set, but also the final product of the show or the film. And I didn't quite know what he meant then, but I absolutely know what he means now, and it's very true. So I would say it's the job of the director, and it's also the job of the star of the project. In my experience on PARADISE, there was so much freedom and so much room for play, because not that there was a lack of point of view or a lack of steady direction, but there was an openness for collaboration and a tampering of the ego that is quite rare, actually, on a set. I felt like everybody was available for each other. Nobody was trying to do something that they wanted to do separate from everyone else. Therefore, it just created an environment that felt so safe, so vulnerable, so comfortable, that nothing could kind of go wrong. There was no, oh, you're being too this, or you're being too that. It was like, why not try this? Why not try that? And my experience was so kind of insular at first, because I came in and it was just me and Graceland, and I was given room because we had the time and we had the space to play, where I would speak to Elvis on the wall and make stories up, and I would dance around like him, and I would cook things that aren't in the final episode, but kind of this textural experience that immediately made me feel like I understood who Annie was and how she kept her sanity amongst such chaos.
As a woman director, as a person of color directing, you just always want to continue to open the door for people to come through. And I just want to just say a thank you to Sterling so much, because he is the reason I am here. He is the one who told Dan Fogelman, producers, you all should meet Homily. I think she'd be great. And so he brought me into this family, and it has changed my life. And so thank you so much.
I think my favorite moment was at a certain point we just kind of all just went into just get it done mode, and we all just kind of did what we had to do. But when I got home and checked out the dailies and saw what we created, it was one of those, okay, because I could see in my mind when the visual effects were in there, when all the pieces came together, I could really visualize what we had just done, and it was a very exciting moment, because I think we did some of that in like 2 days. So it was one of those kind of whirlwind moments, and at the end, I'm like, not only can we work with this is going to be great. So that was definitely a good moment.
I'm not picking out of the box for my favorite though.
Sure.
Celeste Oliva, who played the midwife.
Yeah.
Like, I could watch her roll a cigarette and talk about the end of the world all day. And I had no idea how powerful it was going to be, because when we read the script, Annie had just died, and I was gutted. So I didn't know how powerful that scene could be until I watched it. I knew her audition was great, but boy did it land, and boy was she good. And that was so exciting for me to see an unexpected
Yeah.
sort of gem pop like that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pick Sinatra walking through the town at the end, because what I really loved about it, well, the pilot just so hit you when they echo Xavier's run through the city, but now you see the hints that this city is not what you thought it was. And I just remember how impactful it was. And so when we echoed it for the finale and had Xavier now running those same kind of setups for his life, and then here she is walking through it as it crumbles around her. And it's such a character that we've loved because we know that all of her villainy is due to the grief of her son. And so to have that crumble around her because she chose to sacrifice herself for the world that she would be better, I thought was just so impactful, and be able to echo those same shots now crumbling that we had seen earlier, and to end with the horses. I remember, I loved episode 2 where you realize that's why there are horses all over, because when they show in the pilot, you're always like, why are there these horses all over? And then you see why in 2 and you're like, wow. So when we shot this, we're like, she has to be joined with her son again at the horse. And so it's just emotionally is just a scene that always gets me when I see it, and it's just so beautiful, and I just love what Julianne is doing, and I love the sun flare, and I love the effects that Johnny did to it, and so that I'll pick that one.
I think episode 2 of this season, when Annie and Link, it's one of their first times they're together. And I don't know if it's when you're dancing, you're so close, and it's so unguarded, it's so relaxed. It's so like the first stages of falling in love. Like, it really took my breath away. I thought it was incredible. And always Sterling. So like the scene when we actually finally, we did nothing together throughout the season. And then when we're finally in that elevator together, I was like, yes, back with my guy. So that was just actually a fun one to film.
I'm gonna give you my 2 favorite moments as a fan when I got to finally watch it. And it was when you and Terry were reunited. I just like it. That feeling around the throat, it's like, oh, it hurts. And then also Julianne, when you, I fucking cried, Jesus, the show is so emotional. When you're like, you think that you realize that it's Dylan and that your son something might have worked in the universe, and maybe there's a world where Link is not Link and Link is someone else. That also, like, those are my favorite.
What is the favorite thing that you were excited? Because they're in production right now for the final season for season 3.
We actually had our last night of shooting last night.
Ooh. I'm gonna tease it a little bit for season 3 and get in as much trouble as you want.
That's really funny. It's great. It's funny. Peer pressure. Look at you using my name. I will say this, right? Because Dan will often compare like the format of the show to Lost, and that we're both huge Lost fans, right? The difference between, I think, what network television was doing at that point in time and what we're trying to do on the streamer is sort of come up with a beginning, middle, and end, rather than keeping it going indefinitely. So I feel like each episode drives towards something in a very muscular way. Like, there's no fat in season 3. It has a lot. It starts off, okay, I can say this. It starts off and you kind of breathe a little bit, because there's a lot that happens in episode 208, right? And you're like, what are these people going to do? How are they going to move forward? Different folks have different ideas of what the best way to move forward is. You see them make their decisions. And then some shit happens. And then some shit happens that's so like off the wall that you're like, where are we going now? We're just going to spend another day in paradise.
Don't say anything.